Hello my fellow nerds, Calco here. And originally I wasn't going to do a video on this and I was just going to continue working on my D&D alignment video, but we got a lot of information dumped on us. And I think I managed to crack it surprisingly quickly, because this trailer tells us a lot of stuff. Not just about Helluva Boss, but Hazbin Hotel as well. This video is going to be like a master analysis on everything in this trailer. And I mean everything. The small details, the timeline of the episodes, the predictions, and most importantly, I'll tell you who this sexy cat bee guy is, because I think he's the next Tumblr sexy man. I'm also going to go over which episode I think is which and what episode this is about, and I'm going to try to put together a timeline and a prediction of how this season will go. And that part is very juicy, because let me tell you, this last episode, if it goes the way I think it's gonna go, it's going to be sad. So buckle up, we got a lot to cover. But first, I'm going to do what I do best and go over all the tiny details. We can tell that all the people in these robes are Hellborn because of the red arm carrying that watch. There are several scenes where it's ambiguous where they are, but you can always tell that they're in Hell because of the eyes on the buildings. Very interesting here how Moxie doesn't refer to Blitzo as Sir anymore. He refers to him as Blitz. It shows quite the shift in their relationship. There is a vibrator attached to this vacuum. Fizzarali looks like he's testing a new dildo based on Ozzy's kaiju cock, as he explained in the previous episode. So all the dicks have to be censored, but the full-on gore does not? That's how you know this is an American show. It's interesting to see Luna smiling or looking happy or even maybe a little smug in this episode. It kind of shows how she's bonded maybe a bit more with the crew. You can see here the dorks tranked one of the cherubs here, and that's why they're staring in horror. Oh my gosh, he signed his own art. At this point, Blitz has the Asmodean crystal and is no longer using Stolas' book. We can tell this by how the portal opens up. It's round if it's Stolas' book. It looks like this, where it's all crisscrossed, if it's an Asmodean crystal, as we've seen Barbie Wire use hers just like this. So Stolas has given him the crystal at this point, and the two are probably not talking. Also, there's a donut in the corner. I think in this episode, the cherubs with the humans open a portal to hell, and you can see this big black shadowy claw coming for Blitz as we see this happen. And I think that's what leads to the fight in the Lust Ring. I think these cherubs and these humans are literally going to hell and back. If you look really, really closely in this image, you can see this robot is like shooting a missile at Millie, but take a closer look, and it doesn't seem to be a robot, it seems to be a suit. And the face on the suit looks a lot like the guy from Dorks. So I think these humans are literally going to hell, and literally battling it out with Imp in the Lust Ring. Because the last time we got an epic fight scene, it was with Dorks. The sewers in the Lust Ring have little hearts on them. And that explosion destroyed Millie's axe. You could see the handle go flying in the different direction as Millie goes through the window. Bethany Ghostfucker. Okay, we can tell that this is from the Ghostfuckers episode. And of course, Blitzo draws a little dick on the card. A little spoiler here, this front desk guy, it's the same dude as the ghost. It's the same guy from the painting, it's the same guy here. Like, I don't think this was a good idea to show in the trailer, but I mean, okay. This book says how to eat an entire plane. Hell yes, it's edible. You can hardly see in this frame, but if you zoom up, you can see a bit of Luna's tail, her shorts, and her claws. She has a machine gun and she is shooting at something Dorks related. Full moon tonight. Pride weather update. Partially cloudy, redder than usual somehow. Remember this later, this will help us determine which is what episode. Stolas is reading a book called Passion and Brimstone. And now, everybody, of course, we find out who all of these Goetia are. First and most obvious, we have Visago. Visago is a prince of hell, just like Stolas. Very likely his brother due to his birdage. He can tell past and future events and can uncover hidden and lost things, and is supposed to be depicted as an angel, so I don't know why he's a bird. He also looks a lot like the Goetia we saw in the very first pilot of Hazbin Hotel. The leopard man is Sitri, another prince, probably another brother of Stolas. Apparently his powers is to cause people to love each other, and he can make people naked whenever he wants. He is also traditionally portrayed with the face of a leopard and the wings of a griffin. Not sure why he looks a lot like Bee when he's more of a lust demon. On the far left is Ippos, an earl and prince of hell, another in the same rank as Stolas. He knows and can reveal all things past, present, and future, and apparently he can make people witty and valiant. Very occasionally is he depicted as a vulture, which is what I assume this is. The raven is either Ammon or Nabirius. Both of them are marquises on the same level as Andrelphus, who is about a level below Stolas. Likely it is Nabirius, as he is more often depicted as a raven. Nabirius restores lost dignities and honor, and this raven is decked out in jewels, so that's why I'm more inclined to believe that this is Nabirius. The one in the hat is Shax, another marquise who is supposedly a stork. Shax steals things: sight, hearing, understanding of people's, money out of kings' houses, horses, and whatever the requester wants. The snake is a little hard, but I think it is Andromalius. While Andromalius isn't normally a snake, he is depicted as a man that carries a giant snake. He is a marquise, and he is kind of like the anti-Shax. He returns thieves and stolen things, and punishes thieves, and discovers hidden treasures. He discovers evilness and points out people who are dishonest. And I have no idea who the goat is. You'd think there'd be multiple goat Goetias, but apparently not. Hold on, they got John Waters? Like, the guy who wrote Hairspray, John Waters? This is going to be one hell of a show. I bet he voices this guy. We can still see that Stolas is still injured from Stryker. This ending part with the FU Blitzo thing in the background, this is very likely a dream sequence or some kind of hallucination that Blitzo has. Vortex is probably there to remind him of the party and his failures with Luna. Danky Candles is a pun on Yankee Candles. We also see here that Blitzo is all dressed up, so he's trying to woo Stolas. In this scene, Blitz starts off with the heart on his head, and then when he's an adult, it is broken. Here, due to the outline of the hair and Blitzo having braces, this is a flashback with Tilla, who is suspected to be Blitzo's mom. There's the silhouette of Satan himself, and Blitz possibly protecting Stolas from Satan. The Coxcomb Resort. That stuffed meat Blitz is definitely going to appear in Verosika's scene, or this whole trio singing scene. This guy says, "Aren't you out of your depths?" Basically implying that this guy died from drowning if it weren't already clear from the fish theme. Mammon has a cute little money tie, and a fidget spinner, and a tech deck. Do you guys remember those little tech decks? Moxie's gun has a little music note on it. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is still from the ghost episode, and Blitzo is possessed by the ghost here. You can tell by his eyes and how he is actually attacking Millie. I'm just gonna pause because of Moxie's face here. Okay, so in this pile given to Moxie, we have the Wi-Fi code, which is boss, but flipped upside down on the calculator. ASMR reloading guns, watch later. We have another horse, and remember, eels. He still hasn't replaced the eels? He wants to get red dye number 2, and then go to get gas. Oh gosh, they're gonna run out of gas later, aren't they? Blitz has a horse tote bag here, which I think is kind of cute. All the lights in this pool room have been completely shattered. Here we get a full look at burned Fizzaroli, and we also see Fizzaroli in the hospital with Blitz's dad. And then we see the whole House of Asmodeus scene just from Blitz's point of view. And if you look closely, you can see Blitz's head is in front of it like he's watching it on a movie screen. Likely meaning he is watching his life flash before his eyes, so he is possibly in a life or death situation. In this scene, Millie has long hair. And seeing how she and Blitzo are fighting, this likely means this is going to be the scene where Millie and Blitz met. Meaning we're going to see their backstory together, and this also likely means that Blitz probably introduced Moxie and Millie to each other. Finally, let's take a look at the episode guide. because this episode guide tells us a lot. Given the huge gap between June and October, this likely means that this is going to be when Hazbin Hotel Season 2 comes out. Because I've heard rumors it's supposed to come out on September 2024, this proves that it might even be sooner than that. Alright, now let's go through all the episodes in order in what I think is going to happen this season. First, we got the full moon. Stolas is supposed to meet with his family, possibly to review everything that's been going on. We can tell this is the first episode because the full moon report has a royal insignia in the background. So we are going to meet the Goetia family a lot sooner than expected. But we also know that Stolas and Blitz meet up every full moon for him to do his job. This is all supposed to be the night where Blitz and Stolas get it on as part of their deal. So maybe Blitzo is late with the book, or the two get caught, or maybe his family finds out he hasn't been doing his job because apparently he and Blitzo haven't met up in months. First, Blitzo likely goes to Fizz's place, and Fizz is happily showing him what he's been doing since retirement, which is designing the sex toys, one of which probably looks like Ozzy's cock. That could be also in the next episode, but I am not 100% positive. I'm going to stick it here because Blitz is still in the same outfit. Blitzo tries to be romantic with Stolas, but things go horribly wrong. We get angst, we get accusations of not loving one another, and it ends in Blitzo saying something to Stolas that is really hard for him to forgive, because the next episode is likely Blitz trying to apologize to Stolas for what happened the other day. Stolas does not accept it, as we see how snarky and smarmy he is here. He is not happy. Blitzo gets hit in the feels and feels like he needs to make right with some people. This is also the episode where we get Stolas and Octavia likely. Stolas probably goes to Andrelphus' place to see his daughter, and Andrelphus is not happy about it. And then angst happens. Stolas realizes he does love Blitz and that he really messed up, but it's likely the two will continue to be on pause until the very last episode, or until whenever Satan comes in. Then they have Ghost Fuckers, where they are in the human hotel. Maybe this is a request from a customer who thought that this person should have died a long time ago, but they aren't seeing them in hell. You meet the front desk. The front desk guy is actually the ghost who probably drowned. We get a Blitzo and Millie situation. We find out how they met. We see their relationship. Blitzo gets possessed by the ghost, which is also the front desk owner. And this guy is either from Envy or is an actual sinner ghost that drowned. Mastermind, we go back to Dorks, who captured the Cherubs, and the Cherubs and the Dorks team up. They open a portal to hell, they jump into hell, they have all these high-tech gear, and they all fight it out across the Lust Ring. This messes a lot of stuff up, which leads to a lot of hell being very pissed at IMP for fucking around in the living world. Now, all of hell is after IMP because of what happened with Dorks, and they unfortunately have to leave the business behind. They likely have to drop and leave everything because hell is after them. Blitzo probably has a near-death experience where he witnesses his life flash before his eyes. This is where we see the Blitzo Sucks singing scene. Or maybe it's like a Christmas Carol or something where Blitzo realizes he's fucked over a lot of people and he's like, wait, it's still Christmas, I can change. At the end of the episode, he then goes to Stolas one last time and likely has to leave because hell is after him. They say one final goodbye, and the last episode is super sad. And that will be the end of Helluva Boss Season 2. What do you think of my predictions? I definitely want to hear your thoughts below. I am very unsure about what's happening in that second episode. I'm also unsure of where Mammon and where Satan fit into all of this. But until then, keep on studying.